What's up, y'all? It is Josh here, or J-Rican if you listen to my music. Regardless, you're here, and what we are talking about today is ooh, faith, specifically Christian faith, and sexuality. Now, why are we having this topic? One, because I had or I guess where this is coming from. Shout out to my pop filter that I just slapped. Um, where this is coming from, I made a post in November, kind of speaking on my sexuality and my faith. You can call it a come out if you want to. But I had kind of already been at terms with where I was at for quite a few years. I knew I was bisexual. I've told I was bisexual, and I was just kind of walking in that. But I was walking in it in ambiguity, and where the problem with walking in ambiguity lies is that I can't help people who face struggles like I faced if I'm simply ambiguous. So, what did that require of me? um, it required more vulnerability than I'm comfortable with on massive scales. But I had to come to the point and just remember and realize that nowhere I'm going and nothing I have is going to come without God anyway. So I might as well just go ahead and just trust Him with my situation. Whether I'm right or wrong, He can use it if I'm open about it. But if I keep all my problems to myself and only show people, oh, the good, like sure, like we have a habit of telling people, like, oh yeah, God brought me through this and this and this, but you know, um, that oftentimes doesn't give us the chance to do life together. You know what I'm saying? It just gives us the chance to see, like, oh, okay, cool, you've got it all together. I don't have it all together, but not being perfect, that's what makes me eligible for having a relationship with Christ, and that's what makes us all eligible for having a relationship with Christ. So the narrative that God doesn't love people that aren't straight, that you have to be straight to have a relationship with Christ, um, it's false. It's false doctrine, and to be quite frank, it's gaslighting. Um, you can't catch the God who created the universe off guard. You can't catch him by surprise. So he's not surprised that you're gay. Maybe the people at your church are surprised that you're gay or bisexual or whatever you might identify as. The people in your life can be surprised by that. God can't be because he knew what he was making when he made it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and for a long time, I myself felt like that wasn't the case. I was like, oh, like, God, I don't want to be bi. I want to change it, do something else, like, get rid of it, and that never happened. But what I first came to many, many years ago was God was like, look, don't prioritize your sexuality. Don't worry about trying to fix that or take it out of the picture. Let me worry about what needs to be in and out of your life. Just keep pursuing me. Let's continue having a relationship and work on growing you and nurturing you. And the things that don't need to be there won't be there. And the things that do need to be there will be there. And so I was like, all right, God, I could work with that. I could work with that. Needless to say, my sexuality has never changed or moved or left. So guess what? We're still bisexual here in 2021, but we also still love God, and I want other people to be able to experience how good God is. You know what I'm saying? I want other people who face trauma at church for simply not fitting in. I want them to know God loves you too. I want them to know God's not off guard by your sexuality. God is not off guard by any of your deepest, darkest secrets, whatever they might be. Um, and again, what makes us eligible for a relationship with God in the first place is the fact that we're not perfect. If you were already perfect, you wouldn't need God. You know what I'm saying? But because we're not perfect, that's why we're eligible. So it doesn't even make sense when the church pushes this narrative like you have to be straight to have a relationship with God if the point of a relationship with God is growth. Like, where do you expect the non-straight people to start experiencing their growth if they can't even access a relationship with God? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's and I think one of the biggest problems and one of the biggest things I've noticed from that is this mindset that I call a default L. It's where you take the loss because you're like, okay, well, I can't win according to the rules of this game, so I'm just not going to play by the rules, or I'm not going to play the game at all. Um, and that happens a lot of times with people of the LGBTQ community at church. They feel like, oh, well, I've already lost for not being straight, and I can't do anything about that. So there's no point of me continuing to try this path with the rest of you because all I'm getting is judgment when all I'm looking to do is maybe just grow or improve. You know what I'm saying? And the bigger issue with a default L is that it drives you to people who might relate to you, who might listen to you, and who might be there for your biggest problems. But that does not mean that those people are the safest. That does not mean that those people are able to nurture you. That does not mean that those people are able to help you grow. And that's what we're supposed to be helping people do at church. So it breaks my heart that that we have this dynamic where we're like, come on everybody, like we're trying to grow to God together and let's grow together and blah blah blah. Unless you're this, and it's just like, and I don't know. It all in all, it blows my mind, and I'm sure I will talk more and more on this and more on different subjects. But what I again want to put out is that God's grace is sufficient for everybody. Um, and again, if you're not perfect like myself, you're in the running to having a relationship with Christ, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It really really is. Like for the longest time, like I said, I was so worried about getting rid of it and changing it or whatever and blah blah blah, and then God was like, boom, yo, I'll worry about what's supposed to be there. And then if you want to go back or go up a little bit more, when I made my post in November, part of what got me to actually the point of being like, okay, cool, you can't simply live in ambiguity, was I was watching a message from Andy Stanley. Shout out to Andy Stanley. And one of the things he said was, "What God does not remove, He chooses to use." And I was like, and I'm like, God, the sexuality thing ain't budged. um, so you must be trying to use it. And so that said, we made a post, and now we have a video as of right here now this second, and there will be more. Again, just because, like I said, I want to be a safe place. That's my goal with all of this, is to open conversation, is to be a safe place for people who are straight, people who are not straight, LGBTQ plus, whatever, however you might identify, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it does not matter. Wherever you fit, I'm going to try to be a safe place. But I definitely do want to bring more attention um, to the hurt on the gay community, the LGBTQ community, and I want to bring more accountability and just a call to step up to the church. We got to do a better job of loving people, y'all. Like, and this is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But I don't know if we teach people that God doesn't love them because we ourselves don't know how to love them, or if we just don't understand how good God's grace really, really is. You know what I'm saying? But again, where I'm at is we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? There's people hurting, and we could be a safe place for them. So let's do that. LGBTQ plus folks, I'm here with y'all too. And again, I'm gonna try to be a safe place for y'all, but I want y'all to know that God loves you and He made you just how you are. Um, you don't have to change yourself before you come to God. You can just come to God. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the parent that understands everything. Just speak with him. I know that it's been miscommunicated through people at church sometimes. People at church aren't perfect. We're trying to fix it. That's why we're at church. Um, but we don't always communicate God's love correctly. But, again, I want you to know that God loves you too. So that said, I'm going to cut this video. 9 minutes plus is way longer than I intended to go. But yeah, thank y'all for sticking around, and I love y'all, and I'll see y'all around. If you need prayer requests or anything like that, just want to talk, whatever, reach out. I guess drop a comment. That is so strange. Drop a comment or however people do this on these videos. Yes.